What's going on, guys? It's the Philosopher here with a video I'm actually very excited about. Kinda not fighting game related, but still very fighting game related if you ask me. And I want to give you my top 3 books that will actually help you get in the right mindset to get better at fighting games. Seems a little unrelated, but stick with me here and I will help you try to understand a little bit more. And if you stick to the very end, there's going to be a special offer so that you can get a free audiobook. So more on that later. So number 1 all-time favorite book has to go to Mastery by Robert Greene. And this book, I could go on and on about it. If you watched any of my videos, you probably heard me reference it at least once or twice. This book has helped me to change my mindset from where I was 5 years ago to where I am now, to losing 300 pounds, to starting my own business, to having a lot more money than I've ever had before. Nothing by all means is perfect. I still have health, I still have to focus on getting better at health. I still have to work on making more money. My business has a lot more room to grow. So I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect, and I'm definitely not a master at fighting games yet. That said, this book has really helped me to develop the idea of what mastery really is, what the art of Kaizen actually is. And that's continual improvement. And this book goes through and chronicles a lot of the contemporary and past masters, geniuses, whatever you want to call them. People like Thomas Edison, Darwin, Einstein. These people, we claim them as geniuses, but we really don't understand how they got to be so great. Da Vinci's a really great example. And this book actually demystifies a lot of the greatness that they achieved. And that might sound a little boring, but in my opinion, I actually gained more of a respect for these people because they weren't just born with a great gift. They had to work on it every day. They had to really master their craft and really get better at it. And so I actually gained a higher respect for these people because they weren't born geniuses. Einstein wasn't just born super smart. And this book really helped me to understand that. So I can't help but talk about this book enough. The next book on my list is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Another great book that helped me to put my mind in the right place to really be able to accept that I can get better. I had a hard time actually starting this book because at the time I was really anti-establishment, anti-money, anti-consumerism, and so I never really got into this book because I thought it was all about making money, which is so very far from what it's actually about. You can definitely use this book to make money, but it's more about a mindset. Being rich is a mindset more than an actual state of financial being. And so this book helped me to realize that being rich is a mindset. And I really think that in the fighting game world, this can definitely help you to have the right mindset when it comes to getting better, when it comes to what you actually want out of a fighting game. And so I really think that listening to this book or reading this book will really help you understand that, you hear a lot of these things like, the law of attraction and stuff like that, and it seems very mystical or mythical or Harry Potter-ish or something crazy like that. But it's a lot more than just that. It's a lot more than just The Secret, which for some people they like it, for some they don't. Not my place to say. This really helps you to understand like the entrepreneurs and the greats that really get to where they are and the mindset that they have when they approach these situations. And so I think that this is a really, really good book when it comes to not just fighting games, but anything in life where you want something out of it. If you want to be the best, if you want to be the best commentator, you want to be the best player in a certain area. It takes work, but it also takes the proper mindset. And so these 2 books, Mastery and Think and Grow Rich, really help you to develop that mindset. The third book that I absolutely love is a book by Josh Waitzkin. It's called The Art of Learning. I've definitely referenced this book as well. If you check out my video with Rob TV, I definitely talk about it a good bit in that book. He actually read it as well, so it was a good conversation. This book chronicles the journey of a person by the name of Josh Waitzkin. He wrote it. It's about his life, and this is actually what the book in the movie Searching for Robbie Fisher was about. His dad actually wrote the book, I believe, and then someone bought the rights to make the movie. Very great story. But if you don't know, Josh Waitzkin was like the second youngest chess grandmaster. Like, he was a chess prodigy, and he chronicles his journey of becoming that grandmaster. And I don't want to spoil too much for you, but he winds up taking what he's learned from chess, all the struggles, all the wins, all the losses, and applies it to something else and becomes a world champion at that as well. And he's very, very seemingly different things, two separate categories altogether, and he becomes a master, a world champion in this thing as well. And he talks about how his knowledge from chess and his process of learning it actually applied very closely to this other thing. And this really solidified a belief that I came across on my own, was that everything that you learn up until the point to where you are right now is applicable to something completely different from it. And this really hit home for me because most of my life was about gaming. You know, I didn't really have too many skills. I had a bachelor's degree in animation and game design. I had worked at GameStop for most of my life after graduating college. I played games any free time that I had went to video games for the most part, except for like karate and a few other physical things like sports, which I usually quit if it got too hard. So gaming was the only thing that I never quit from the start of my life up until the point of like 24, 25, where I was really overweight and not healthy and had high blood pressure. While I did learn to apply some of the things, I gamified my life, so to speak. Fighting games was a really big one for me, and I've talked about this in the past, where I helped the philosophies that I learned from learning a fighting game and getting better at it, I transferred to fitness, and that really helped my mindset. And so reading this book, it was more about me knowing that there's other people out there that are even more successful than I am that have applied this same concept to their life. And I think that you can apply the knowledge that you have outside of fighting games to fighting games to help you learn it. For instance, I had a client who played sports as a young kid, and I helped him to realize that the same process of how he learned that sport could be applied to learning fighting games. In fighting games, it's the wild west of learning because you can learn anything at any given time. But in sports, we have a coach, unless we learn like the Hard Knocks way, and even then we learn from the other people around us. But with a coach, you have a process. You isolate certain types of things. Like if you're playing football, for instance, you have to make sure you practice your form, you have to practice running and sprinting, and you work out all these muscles, and then you do different types of exercises that can basically isolate a scenario that might happen in a real game. And that's, I think, the most efficient way for most people to learn fighting games, but it's really hard to do that because we don't have someone at our back saying, do this exercise for this long, this many times. Long point short, I think this book is really good to help people understand what the art of learning is actually about, how to learn something and get better at it and continually get better at it. And again, mindset's very important. So I think this one really helps solidify the first two, with having the right mindset, but also applying that mindset to something that can be structured, something that you can help learn. You can build a strong foundation and continue to build on that foundation so that just like in martial arts or chess or any other thing, you start to master it. You begin to have the art of mastery. And so all these books are really great for helping you to get into the right mindset, but also to be able to apply these things to get better. Because I love the theoretical and the philosophical things because it really helps me to get in the right mindset, but I also love the hard data, the factual, functional things that can really help you to apply them and get you from A to B. So that said, if you guys are still here, I definitely want to show you guys an offer. I'm going to put a link down below to a place where you can get a free audiobook and a 1-month trial of Audible, which I use just about every day. I drive a lot for work. So I really love to listen to audiobooks because I like to read, but sometimes it's just hard for me to do that. It's hard for me to get into the right mindset to read. I mean, excuses, that's fine. But that said, I still want that knowledge in my brain holes, so I'm going to go ahead and listen to audiobooks. So if you guys are interested, you can pick up your first free book. I definitely recommend checking out one of the books that I mentioned before. Otherwise, there's tons of great books that you can get out. It's up to you what you pick. But that link will be down in the description below. That does help me out, and if you guys do decide to go ahead and continue with that trial and actually pick up Audible, then I want to thank you guys so much for not only helping me, but helping yourselves, because that's really what this is about. All that said though, I want to thank you for watching this video. I really hope it helps, whether you read the book or get the audiobook or talk about it with somebody else or get the Clef Notes. I don't care, but just check these things out. Hit like on this video. Definitely, if you've read any of these books, let me know in the comment section down below which one you actually liked. And of course, if you want to check out more content, if you like philosophy and fighting games and personal development, hit that subscribe button because I will continue to pump out better content for you guys. I will keep upping the ante as I grow. But all that said, I will catch you in the next one.